The story begins when a Japanese salaryman was threatened by his sister to play an Otome game that he thoroughly despised. He hated it so much, because of the idea that he's wasting days of his day off to improve his relationship with some other dude in the game. He finally finishes the game after days of not eating and sleeping. That following night he decided to eat because he's absolutely starving from playing that game, then immediately realized that the refrigerator has no food in it. So he walked out of the house to buy some in the nearest convenience store. The starving man then collapsed and fall from the top of the stair and die. He is then reincarnated as Leon Fou Bartfort, a son of a backcountry noble, the lowest of the low in terms of nobility. The world where he is reincarnated seems to resemble the society and rules of the latest game he just finished before dying. Although Leon has his suspicion, he was not really sure. After questioning his supposedly brother in this world, he then realizes that he's inside that Otome game he so despises. Leon then note everything that he remembered from his past life, for life advantages. Given as he's just a background character and a son of a noble that lives far in backcountry of the kingdom, he didn't really expect it would be useful. Leon then realizes that the main character and love interest are in the same age as him. He already has plans to attend the academy, but not to meddle with romantic affairs. He just wants to find a wife, as the academy is known for it, and live off his entire life in a backcountry of the kingdom. Zora suddenly announces he must marry her friend's ugly 50-year-old daughter. Leon refuses his life to be in ruin, so he uses the pre-knowledge of the story to locate a powerful ship named Luxion, which should have been found by the game's female protagonist in the original story. Luxion is controlled by an artificial intelligence that attempts to kill Leon due to him being a new human, the current breed of human that can use magic, and eradicated the non-magic humans that created Luxion. However, Leon has an old human soul, allowing him to register as Luxion's owner. Zora happily assumes Leon died, only for Leon to appear with an absolute fortune in treasure looted from dungeons using his pre-knowledge. Now independently wealthy Leon is able to ignore Zora's demand to get married, and attends the academy as originally planned. Because of his dungeon discovery, Leon was made a baron, meaning any future wife must be nobility. Leon witnesses the start of the storyline and sees the romantic interests, Prince Julius and his friends Chilk, Brad, Chris and Greg, whom the heroine must choose a husband from, and the rich antagonist Angelica Redgrave. He witnesses a game event in which the heroine is supposed to slap a man, but it is a girl named Marie instead. Julius socializes with Marie to the irritation of Angelica, his fiancée. Leon, having learned the art of tea making with the help of his master and sensei, he then decides to hold a tea party. Leon's objective in the academy is to find a wife, so he wants to meet a suitable one. After the party, Leon was utterly disgusted and humiliated. As the girl in the academy seems to not qualify the requirements to being a human, a proper girl. Leon then meets the real heroine, commoner and scholarship student Olivia, and then Leon received the humanly interaction he was looking for. During dungeon exploration, Angelica confronts Marie for being intimate with Julius but is told by Julius to back off. Leon is troubled by the changes to the storyline, especially concerning Marie, who is more devious than she appears and has somehow replaced Olivia as the storyline's heroine. Curious Leon wants to know what Olivia thinks of Marie, so she directly asks her. While they're in the library, a sudden noise was heard. Leon and Olivia saw Marie secretly kissing Brad, one of the prince's subordinate. Leon grows suspicion and asks Luxion to begin gathering information as he suspects Marie is a reincarnation like himself. Angelica can't help but wonder and hope that the prince do not develop feelings for Marie, because she's genuinely in love with him. The next day Angelica finds out that Marie is being closely intimate than what friends should be. So she can't take it anymore and attempts to reveal Marie's cheating to Julius, but he already knew, as Marie has successfully made all 5 love interests fall in love with her. The now burdened Angelica was shocked because the thing that she didn't want to happen, happened. Confused Angelica didn't know what to do. Out of anger, Angelica challenges Marie to a duel, but all 5 love interests volunteer as Marie's champions. No one wants to oppose the prince. Angelica was left embarrassed in front of the whole party. The mob character Leon already knows whether Angelica wins or loses the duel event. And she didn't want it to end after all that happened with her in disgraced and forced to marry an abusive husband. Just as what happened in the game. So he volunteers as Angelica's champion when no one even dared to speak up, because they're all scared of the crown prince. He was then asked to pick 4 more people to battle with him, but he confidently states that he's all he needs. Everyone thinks he's lost his mind, including Angelica. Leon then tested Marie, to once and for all know if she's really an incarnate, just like Leon. Leon then start by asking what do the winner gain from becoming victorious. Marie then replied the same dialogue that the game set for the heroine, but she was a little slow and gibberish. It was settled, they will fight using large robotic suits called armors. Marie's use of game dialogue confirms she is aware of the storyline. Leon learns students are betting on the duel and bets a huge fortune on himself because he's 100% sure he's gonna win. Although all the student body seems to think otherwise, almost all the student beside Leon's friends vote against him in a gamble of their entire lifetime fortune. On the day of the duel, Luxion delivers Leon the armor Arrogans, though this is met with mockery from the audience as Arrogans is very different from the love interest's modern armors. All in all, against all odds, Leon is still confident he will beat all 5 of them. The crowd and the prince didn't really know where his confidence is coming. Because probability-wise a 1v4 favors the numbers, especially if their armor is modified by modern technology. Unlike Leon's armor Arrogans, that is made by ancient people. Leon first faces Brad, who wields a lance. Leon mistakenly equips a large shovel instead of a sword and met another total mockery from the audience. Brad's fighting style is so predictable, Leon knocks him out instantly. And the entire stadium was silenced. His sensei is the only person that congratulate him from a stunning first victory. Greg uses a long spear, but his favorite armor has been repaired numerous times, so Leon is able to break it apart and expose Greg as the weak bully he truly is. Everyone's cheers turns into disgust. Chris is a young master swordsman, so Leon utilizes the range of his drone. He broke Chris's battle spirit by destroying his sword. Jenna, Leon's sister, who was angry to his brother Leon because he's embarrassing their family by making enemies of higher-ranked nobles. She was instructed to plant explosives on Arrogans by Jilk. Luxion informs Leon of this, but Leon had expected cheating and knows Arrogans can withstand the blast. The battle commences and Jilk utilized the planted explosive, but later humiliated as to how weak he actually is. Marie is burning with frustration, because the well-known nobles are being beaten by an unknown background character. The crowd cannot take it anymore, as their lifetime savings is potentially being spent in what they thought was a sure win. Before the prince and Leon fight, why not subscribe to the channel? I'm uploading more of this kind of content, so if you've reached this point in the video you must have liked it. Leon then asks Julius how he feels towards Olivia. Julius admits he has heard of her but has never met her, which is impossible since their meeting was supposed to be the beginning of the story. Leon torments Julius with his crazy idea of sharing Marie with the other 4 love interests. Julius claims Marie loves him for who he is, which is not true. She just knows what exactly she should do, because she has already played the game. Leon points out if Julius continues to reject Angelica, he might be stripped of his title of Crown Prince. Julius, with everyone's hope and lifetime savings in line, has chosen to prove that they are dumber than they look and still chooses Marie, so Leon didn't have any other choice and destroys his armor. He has won the duel, and completely emptied the pocket of every student in school. Julius officially cancels his engagement to Angelica. She was furious because her feelings did not make it through the prince's incredibly thick skull. Leon strikes a deal with Angelica's father. He wants his family to not be included in what he did, an expulsion from the academy and surrendering his noble titles in exchange for protection from Julius's family. All the love interest was then disinherited from their family, and Julius is not a crown prince anymore. Marie burning frustration when all of the love interests, including Julius, lose their titles, ending her plans for an easy life. The Redgrave family is impressed by Leon's resolve, giving up his academics, titles, and a portion of his wealth just to teach the incredibly thick-skulled prince a lesson. So with all of that said and done, instead of being removed from the academy, he was instead promoted to a 6th-rank Nobel, which he wholeheartedly despised. A reincarnated mob character that just wants to be a typical mob character can't go back to being one anymore. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, why not drop a subscription, because I'll be posting a lot of videos like this in the future.